Okay, welcome to everyone listening here live and to those who are going to watch the replay. I'm going to talk with Katieanne Duncan-Bruce today, the owner of KDBEnergy. And I just have to say that I've got an issue with my camera. So unfortunately, my camera is off, but we can see Katieanne. And we recorded our podcast quite some while ago, and she was actually my first podcast guest on the Colors of Womanhood. And at the time, I was really, really very nervous, but we did have a very fascinating conversation.
Thank you so much, Haya, for having me again, and especially after last time and chatting all the way
So you're
from
very welcome, KTN.
from Tanzania. So it's amazing. We did have a really good, honest conversation last time, and it was really interesting just reflecting back on the topics after we spoke about them last time.
Good, thank you. It's always these conversations. I mean, at the time they're already fascinating, but afterwards, if you start listening back to them, right, it's what you can kind of pull out of it and how that starts in a way kind of working for yourself. You know, how those words keep on kind of echoing and that you start reflecting more on what was said and where does that show up for you. So I'm curious to see now, because at the time you mentioned really womanhood as an energy. And I would like to hear maybe more about that or how that evolved for you. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you say, like the womanhood being like an energy, it isn't linear. It's about moving through the stages and so on, but also just in different transitions of what's going on in our own lives with our work or our family or each energy that it comes up at that time. So, I think when we spoke last time, I was working very much kind of on my own. Since then, I actually am part of an amazing team now at a performing arts college. So I think we touched on this the last time, this sort of the background in performing arts and how important it is to me. And I've got an amazing group of women around me at the Lossy Entertainment Academy Scotland. So I think women often carry so much for others, but when we can really connect and support each other, there's a whole new energy that can be created, and it can really uplift like a whole community. So everybody plays together with their strengths, and it all goes together to make an amazing new energy. So it's something that I've been experiencing recently, and just realize how powerful it is when you can get the right kind of group of people around you.
This is so beautiful to hear. You're really radiating when talking about this.
People have said that to me recently, that when I'm talking about my work, that I seem like I'm totally lit up because I'm enjoying it so much.
Yes, absolutely. It's really good, and congratulations
Thank
that
you.
that evolved that way. Beautiful. Um, so So energy of womanhood, indeed, what you were just talking about. Is there something else that you still want to say? Because it's indeed more women as well coming together and community and helping each other, right? And that's something, I mean, many more women seem to be kind of messaging in us that there's that need for.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with womanhood, it's important to remember that it's not about perfection. It's different ways of finding balance, honoring your body in a different way, and finding those ways to restore your energy or find what uplifts you. So something that I find interesting, like with different classes that I'm teaching, I've got classes that are maybe like very restorative, and then other classes that are much more uplifting, say like trapeze yoga, aerial fitness, that kinds of things. And they're quite different, but sometimes maybe one week somebody wants to try a more relaxing class, the next week they want to do something that's more upbeat. And it's important to just be listening to your own body and what you need at that time. And sometimes it can be adding something in that's giving you that bit of balance rather than taking something away, if that makes sense. So for me, I think before I started adding in these classes or working in this way, I was doing very much a lot of the sort of restorative things, working with pregnant ladies and postnatal. And the sometimes it can be quite heavy in a way because, you know, maybe the themes underlying or the issues that they're talking about, it can be quite a relaxed environment, but also very quiet and still at the end. But I think for me, that was also missing that that dynamic of having the more upbeat kind of thing. So I feel like that both energies together is what seems to be working for me. And that radiating thing that people are saying.
That's good. Beautiful. So with that, another important theme that we talked about during the podcast was resilience.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see resilience and what does it mean to you?
So I think, like, personally for me, resilience is just a way of keeping going that feels right for your own self. So in the summer, I didn't feel I actually felt like I needed like a wee bit of a break. And I had to really allow myself to take that time to be okay with stepping back a little bit and taking that time to recharge and just to support my own physical and mental health at that time. And I think if you just go pushing on, then you're not really honoring that time, that balance that you need. And then I think looking at a challenge as something to help you move forward rather than holding you back. So just looking at the challenges that you've had and looking at how you can adapt them in the future. So for example, I know that I sometimes get bothered with anxiety or, you know, overthinking, overwhelm, these types of things. So these topics and themes are what I use to kind of base some of my coaching on, because I know that I've experienced it firsthand. So the challenges that I face, I actually use them in my work and in my passion moving forward.
Yes. I think this is one of the parts as well, right? If you can create that space of trust, and especially with and through community, I mean, then these are the things that can be talked about, shared with, and kind of worked through.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's if women could take one thing away, it's that you don't have to do more to prove yourself. It's sometimes resilience is actually that slowing down or reconnecting or just choosing differently, even if it's just for a short time.
Yes. Okay. So you have a free tool for busy women. Can you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it will be sent over 5 days and it has a mix of things. You've got journaling prompts in there, some yoga, meditation, and it's very much slowing down and going at your own pace. So it's delivered in this way that you can go back to it at any time. There's no rush and you will feel relaxed at the end.
Okay, that's good. It's I don't know if you notice that as well at the end of your classes, that very often women say, "Oh, I feel really relaxed and released." And first, I thought, "Oh, yeah, but I want more from. I want more results. I want more that are talking about energy." But now I've really come to a space that when they say, "I really feel released and relaxed after your class," I think that's really something very important to get to, right?
Definitely, yeah. And it's quite
Okay.
personal for that person as well. Sometimes they need that time, even alone, to
Yeah.
then really wind down after experiencing the class. So having like the tools at home can be really helpful for them.
Yes, absolutely. So I would really recommend you to download this free offer. We'll post it on all the social medias. So our podcast is going live today. It's called Rooted in Our Body: From Showbiz to Sacred Space with Katieanne Duncan-Bruce. So make sure to listen to it on Spotify, on YouTube Music, and on my own channel. And I'm sure Katieanne will also post it on her social media platforms. So thank you so much for joining me, Katieanne, here and at a time as a podcast guest, and let people hear more of you in our conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you.